And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Oh, Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Dweck.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
From the virtual Martinsville Speedway, it's Bluegrass Cup Series. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and as we're sitting out to grid right now as we speak, some technical difficulties trying to get the restream brought up on Bluegrass TV, but we're trying to work on that and get it together. We should have coverage for it on the season finale. But let's get down there trackside and show you your grid. We've got Radburn Shutters, Jonathan Atkins side by side for the front row. Right next to them, it's Michael Kostic, James Silvers, Rafael Huby, Brandon Holder, GT Hawkins, David Farmer, Sean Kaser, Cody Anderson, and we're set to go green the remainder of your field with 13 cars here live tonight at Martinsville. And leading lap number 1, it is the 44 of Shutters. He's able to hold on to it. Atkins just behind him. The Shutters did an excellent job there last week at Darlington, doing what he needed to do to get into the top 4. Rafael Huby was able to stretch the points lead out just a little bit over Hawkins. James Silvers in the 17 had some tough luck last week. Had a lot of damage. Here we are sitting with our top 3. And this track was going to be a coin toss. These guys knew that coming into tonight. As you see the 21 of Huby going around. Brandon Holder there on the outside. So if you're just joining us here live on V-Speed, this is chase race number 6 for the playoff rather. We've eliminated, we're down to the final 4. Radburn Shutters has led every single lap since we took the green. Jonathan Atkins keeping him honest here in second position. He's only 3/10 back, with James Silvers a second back. Michael Kostick and Rafael Hubi the top 5. Hubi has maintained a position ahead of Hawkins here, which is what he needs to do in order to maintain this lead. We've seen Hubi have a little bit of an off week last week, trying to save the tire sets. It didn't pan out the way he planned it. And these guys went caution free last week as well, if I remember correctly. '42 of Cody Anderson, the 11 of Dustin Reinstadel have split off quite a ways from this field. Maybe some problems for the 42 and the 11. They have fallen about 6 seconds back from your leaders. And then that split with David Farmer all the way up to Hubi. And I want to remember last week, during the Xfinity race, these two drivers got into each other, while the number 8 of Kostick was the leader, passing James Silvers. The two of them met up on the racetrack at Darlington. So a little unsure if these guys patched that up or exactly what was said. With this driver right here putting on a clinic, leading all 17 completed laps here tonight. So if you're trying to watch on Bluegrass TV currently, I'm trying to get that to work. I apologize for not having too much action and commentary here tonight. Things haven't been quite working, and I'm trying to get that sorted out for everybody that likes to watch over there. But if you're watching here on V-Speed, please let anyone know that watches on Bluegrass TV that we're having some technical difficulties getting that up and running. A few updates, some apps that are broken, some things that aren't working quite right. Just a multitude of issues, but I'll tell you who's not having an issue right now. Radburn Shutters. As he comes around to lead his 22nd lap. Keeping him honest is Jonathan Atkins in the second position. He started up here. So these two on the front row, they've pulled away from the rest of the field about 1.6 seconds. And that's James Silvers back in third. A little bit of side-by-side with Kostick. Hawkins trying to keep up with the 21 of Hubi. A little fight here on the inside by the 8 car. And that resolves itself to the top 5 here for the 14 of Hawkins. And some technical difficulties again. It would appear that I have fallen through. We're going to take a quick commercial break. OBS obviously not liking what I'm trying to do to it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in a liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
Back here live at Martinsville Speedway. Run Shutters has led every single lap. Coming up on some lap traffic here with Cody Anderson. If you saw us fall through there just a moment ago. We're having some technical difficulties to start this one out here tonight, but we're going to get through it together. We've completed 38 laps out of 250. Jonathan Atkins in the second position. Hawkins and Hoobie trading positions, going back and forth. And this is for the points lead. It's not just for fifth position. Hawkins hard on the inside here for fourth. And there's David Farmer on the inside as well. Hoobie hanging it out there on the outside. Farmer not able to complete the pass. These two going at it for about 2 laps now. Hoobie finally loses the spot to Hawkins, falling back to fifth now. And right up on the back bumper, though. He hasn't given up the spot yet. Farmer now to the inside, so Hooby's going to lose another position. We talked briefly to Hooby and about the final 2 races. He said he wasn't too confident at Martinsville, but he would bring the heat at Homestead. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to work out. David Farmer actually taking over the lead according to the documents page. I'm not exactly sure how that happened with Hooby, but after the reset for the top 4, it goes Farmer, Hooby, Hawkins, and Holder. Hooby 1 point behind the lead. Hawkins 5 points back, and 9 points back for Holder. So an interesting jumble of statistics there. I felt like Hooby would get the advantage, but apparently the 84 of Farmer is going to take over the lead going into this week, and he is ahead of Hooby, but behind Hawkins. So the battle for the points is from 3rd all the way back to the 7th position with these 4 drivers. Riding on board with Brandon Holder. And since we fell through the session there a moment ago, lap counters and positions gained aren't going to quite display the correct information. Shutters has led all 48 laps. It's going to display 15. That's how long we came back into the session after falling through about lap 26. So we had a little break there. ATVO not going to be able to grab the stats, and we have fallen through again, having issues here tonight. So we're going to take another commercial break, and we'll try to get back in here. I apologize for these technical difficulties. Whatever the case may be, something is definitely wrong here tonight with the connections, so we'll try to get that resolved as soon as possible.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across.
Back here live at Martinsville. Hopefully we don't fall through again. We've had some technical difficulties to start this one out, but Radburn Shutter is going to resume the lead after Brandon Holder brings it down pit road. We've had green flag pit stops starting. And here's the number 9 car coming down. After 61 laps on this stint, he's going to hit pit road. Shutter's coming back around to resume the lead. Atkins in a close second position as they go around. Holder's going to get a lap led here. And after the cycle on pit road, David Farmer takes over the lead. He gets ahead of Hawkins. Cody Anderson back in 5th. So a big jump here for the 42 on pit road. He was finding himself on the verge of possibly going a lap down there. As he gets passed by Silvers and Hooby, falling back to 7th position. One car has taken an early vacation from the race. That's Michael Kostick and the number 8. Maybe a mistake made on pit road for the number 8. And the spread here through the top 3 is about 3 seconds over David Farmer in the 84. There's Sean Kaser having some problems here. He's 5 laps down. Back out onto the racetrack, though, for the 24. Maybe some of these drivers having the same problem I'm having tonight with the server. Not exactly sure if there's a network issue with this particular server or not. And we've been indirectly live now for about 69 laps. Back and forth here tonight. After 2 fall-throughs here tonight, you'd think anybody else would have given up, but we're going to try to get through it together. The top 3, Shutters, Atkins, Farmer. There's Hawkins, and after the points battle with 1 point between Hooby, falling back to 6th position, Hawkins 5 points back, trying to make up some positions. Farmer's going to try to run away with this points lead going into Homestead. You can see the lead starting to shrink a little bit for the drivers in front. David Farmer is catching up to these two. lead has fallen down to about 2.5 seconds. A moment ago, it was over 3 seconds. So Farmer finding some speed at about the halfway point here tonight. So we should be live here on Bluegrass TV as well, if you're just joining us on there. Shutters has led every single lap, other than the green flag pit stops, where Brandon Holder was able to lead one of those laps. But Holder finds himself 2 laps down now. After green flag pit stops, he falls out of the top 5. So his points day is a little bit rough compared to the other 3 that made the Final 4 cut. That would be David Farmer, Hawkins, and the 21 of Rafael Hubi. Checking in on where Farmer is now, 1.5 seconds back. He has a lap car in front of him, Shad Kaser. But the leaders have all shrunk back together, this top 3, within a second and a half. Shutters with pressure from the 57 of Atkins as they go down the front stretch. The lead was shrinking here for 3rd place, but since then, after the pressure being put on the 44 of Shutters, navigating around the 42 of Cody Anderson. Peek up here on the back bumper now for Atkins, trying to get to the outside. The problem with this racetrack has always been it's so tough to pass unless you're on the inside, and the only way to get to the inside most races is to use the bumper. And you can see the brake glow on the back of the 44. Watch him as he enters into 1. Those rear brakes are cooking. "81 laps complete, approaching halfway." These drivers made it about 60 laps on their last stint. They're approaching about 20 laps now. So somewhere around a quarter of the way. I would say a third of the way, exactly. And there's the bumper we were talking about. Atkins right up on the back of Shutters now. They see the lead shrinking down to 1 second. Shutters is holding up the 57 of Atkins, and Kaser in between here on this battle. As soon as David Farmer gets around the 24, he'll be right up on this battle for the lead. Peek to the inside there for Atkins down the back stretch. Doesn't quite get the run off that he wanted. Shutter's going to hold on for another one now. And this is definitely going to be a 3-stop race at the minimum. And with this top 3 being that close together, neither one of these drivers can afford a mistake out here on the racetrack, but it's even more crucial that they get on and off pit road cleanly. 44 approaching the number 11 of Dustin Reinstedel. And you can see this top three completely bunched up with the lap car Kaser in between. Just trying to maintain the lead right now for the 44 of Shutters. A little bit of tire smoke there by the 11. And the pressure is up, dialed up to 11 here on the 44. Nice cut in there by the 57. Thought he was going to get a run down the front stretch. And now the 84 Farmer gets around Kaser. Farmer driving a little bit different line here. He's able to get a good run in. That time it sticks, and he's right up on the bumper now with the 57 of Atkins. So the pressure reversed. Now Atkins has something to worry about. Three-way battle for the lead shaping up here on lap 92. A little bit of a split on the lap times that time by. Shutters the fastest car on the racetrack. But as this run progresses, the 21 of Rafael Hubi is starting to match those lap times. 19.954. Rafael Hubi has a 19.880. But he's a little far back, 4 seconds. He has to make up quite a bit of ground here to catch up to this 44 car. It would appear that if any of these guys had separate stints on pit road, the tires have almost evened out. You can see Atkins there with a little bit of a mistake, falling back to the 84 of Farmer. Again, Farmer with that different line, driving it in a little bit deeper. Almost some contact in front of him between the 57 and the 44. And now working his way ever closer while these three try to figure it out. The 14 of Hawkins is catching up to Farmer in front. Little loose off a 2 there for the 14. And a move there to the inside on the back bumper of Atkins. Caution free thus far, but these three drivers are running hard. There might be a spin here before long. Putting on the lap times about 20 seconds flat for all three of the top three. Hawkins 0.2 faster as he catches up to these drivers. And he has all but caught them. Dirty air not quite a factor at this racetrack as it was at Darlington. Everyone running quite similar lines there on the inside, and we have a yellow flag. Let's see if we can identify who it was. I believe it might have been the number 9 of Brandon Holder. We'll go back on the instant replay and find out. Not exactly sure what the yellow was for. It might have been a stage break here. I think that's what it was at lap 100. So Let's fast forward back up here for green flag pit, or rather yellow flag pit stops. Stage winner is going to go to the number 44. And off of pit road, the 84 of Farmer finds a way to get ahead of these guys. Let's pull up your stage winner here. There's Ratburn Shutters up in the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So you're able to claim and hold on to that first position for the stage break and win those points, but you had a hard charging 84 and 57 on your back bumper the entirety of that run. Now the 84 gets ahead of you, and what's this going to change anything with the dirty air? I know Martinsville is very tough to pass.
Be honest, I don't know what he done on pit road. He must have had a heck of a stop. His crew really brought their A game maybe today, but now just going to be able to play off of the leader now. It's always hard being the leader. You're not sure what the guy behind you doing, if he's just playing off of you, saving a little more, saving a little better than you. So maybe we can just roll off of him. We'll just see what happens. Might get pushed to the back, restarting on the top, I believe, right here. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, we got some points battles around you as well with the guys in the top 4 points, but you're able to claim stage number 1. Congratulations, Shutters, and we look forward to the next 150 laps or so.
Appreciate it, guys.
Driver of the 44, Radburn Shutters, your stage winner here. So we get set to go back green at Martinsville. The 84 of David Farmer going to lead them into turn 1. Green flag up in the air. Into the Geico restart zone we go. And Barney's waving the flag, officially back underway on lap 105. And a lot going on back here for the 5th position. The 57 of Atkins gets loose, hits Brandon Holder. And Holder now, he was 2 laps down already, having problems here tonight. He's going to lose even more time to these leaders after the 57 gets loose. Shutters falls back to 3rd on that restart. Hawkins trying not to let the 84 out of his sight. And that pass on pit road, well, it happened because the 84 had a 12.8 second pit stop. The rest of the field was in the 14s when it came to sitting in the box. 54.5 second, or 45.4 seconds rather, in pit lane. And sometimes just a few tenths. That's all it takes. Battle for the lead heating up though. Hawkins trying to make a move into 1 and 2. He's going to get right up on the back bumper. Peek to the inside now to the 84. Trying to move him out of the way. Doesn't quite have enough there on the exit of turn 4. But he's going to use the bumper. He's going to have to. Farmer all the way down on the bottom. Not letting that lane happen. And now you see the 21 of Rafael Hubi into this mix. The three-way battle for the points lead. About to be turning into a three-way battle for the race lead. Four-way battle there with the 44, your stage winner in the middle. And a peek now to the inside. A little mistake there from Farmer, and this allows the 14 car to get to the bottom. Change for the lead on lap 114. It's going to go to GT Hawkins now for his first laps led tonight. And a yellow flag comes out. Looks like the 42 of Cody Anderson having some problems. So this is a true yellow. And our first caution of the night. It's going to happen here out of turn 4. Here comes the 42 out of turn 2 right now. Probably just getting loose. Looks like he's going to be by himself here. He does. He sidesteps it out there and gets into the inside wall. Stopped on the racing surface. Not a lot of areas to really go off on this racetrack, so iRacing commonly going to bring out a caution for a car spin at Martinsville. But one more time on board. Just on the throttle a little too soon. Couldn't get the back tires to grab. And that brings out caution number 1. No takers down pit road. Everyone's going to stay out here. The 14, the 84, the 44, the top 3. Rafael Hubi in 4th. James Silver's the top 5. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for your green flag right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live at Martinsville Speedway, Bluegrass Cup Series has completed 119 laps as the lights go out on the pace car here. The 42 of Cody Anderson bringing out the first caution of the night after getting loose out of turn 4. But we're doubled up back ready to go, with Hawkins going to lead them into turn 1. First laps led of the day for the 14. David Farmer, Radburn Shutters, all leading some laps here tonight. The top 4 in points, well, you're almost looking at him. The only one not in the picture here is the 9 of Brandon Holder, who gets one of his laps back here tonight. The number 8 position for the 9 car, as we cycle another caution lap, delay of the green. Not exactly sure what they're sorting out on the racetrack, but Maybe some positions out of touch here. iRacing's been having some problems. I know personally for me, I've been having some issues here tonight. I deactivated the Wi-Fi on my PC to see if maybe that was the issue. So we'll see if we fall through anymore, but so far it's been good. Back here live and racing on lap 121. And a little lag there on the start, holding him as far back as he could as the 14 of Hawkins leads him into turn 1, side by side behind him. Oh, and some contact between second position and third position. That's Farmer now getting moved by the 17 of Silvers. He got into the door of Shutters. Now to the inside is Silvers for the third spot. And there's Atkins, who was in the third spot during the beginning of this race, trying to work his way back into the top 3. Farmer is struggling here as they're almost 3 wide, peaking into 1 and 2. Side by side behind them. The 21 of Hooby holding on right now to a top 5. And locking up some tire smoke there for the 17. And that almost allows, he gets sideways. And Hooby, your points top 3 involved. Yellow flag is out. Atkins involved as well. The 17 car goes for a loop there. It gets really loose coming out of turn 2. Let's go back on our instant replay. Watch how hard these guys are racing. Locks it up a little bit there. Gets loose coming off the corner after that lockup. And the 21 just has nowhere to go here. So the Cofield Supply and Service team out on the racetrack for the second time here today. Cleaning up the aftermath of James Silvers getting loose out of turn 2 in front of Rafael Hooby. Atkins a little bit involved. He's able to lock it down, mitigate the damage. But GT Hawkins, who took over the lead on about lap 111. Here he sits. We have about 123 laps to go. When we go back green, we'll be at about 120. Lights should go out on the pace car this time by. Top 3, Hawkins, Shutters, and Farmer. Hooby and Ryan settle the top 5. Lights on the pace car do stay on for another lap. And 2 cautions here tonight so far. We've had 3 different lead changes. That stat's just about correct, I would say. Some of these statistics will be a little bit broken after following through on the session a couple different times here tonight. But I think we've since got it sorted out. We haven't fallen through since, and lights do go out this time by. Hawkins going to lead them into turn 1 when we go back green. Doubling back up behind the pace car. And the driver that won stage number 1 on the outside here. Flagman has it back up in the air. We're going to go back live and racing for the third time today at Martinsville. The 44 not getting a good restart there. Some contact between him and Hoobie as they go into 3, locking up the front tires for the 21. And now to the inside for third position. It's Jonathan Atkins trying to get the position. Little lock up there, and he gets into the 21, going into 3. Some contact between the two. Still battling for the third spot. More contact as they go into 3 and 4. Still side by side as they come off the exit, but Atkins is able to take over the position. And I'm looking at the helmet of the 21, and I want to say that's a Mario Kart reference. I think that's Wario in the driving that number 21 here tonight. I don't know if you folks at home can see that or not. I'm not crazy. I swear he's in there. So coming by to lead another lap, it's GT Hawkins in the number 14. He's led more than 23 laps here tonight. Those laps led currently going to the number 44. He has fallen back to the 5th position. Brandon Holder able to get both his laps back, so that put him back on the lead lap here in the 9. He needed those cautions to recover after making a mistake on pit road, losing a couple laps. With the points battle being so tight, he could not afford to have a bad race here today. The battle for third heating back up though. Hoobie back up on the rear bumper of Atkins. Had a good run, a little bit of tire smoke there that last time by for the 21. You can see it gets a pretty good entry, and it's similar to what David Farmer had going on, where he's dragging the brakes a little less to get a good entry, but then the drive off isn't quite there. As you see Hawkins start to pull away, about 0.6 of a second separating these two drivers. You're on board here with David Farmer. So a lot of these drivers staying out during those cautions, sticking to their strategy with the limited tire sets that we have here in Bluegrass. And it seems to be more of the same this week. The 44 of Shutters having the same luck that he had at Darlington. Able to lead a lot of laps, have a great start to the race, but in the second half after the stage break, having some struggles. He's fallen back to 5th. And I know that's not a complete struggle. He's still on pace with the leaders, well within a 10th or 2 of the front 4 in front of him, but not able to make up much time. Last time by, the fastest car on the racetrack was the 14 of Hawkins. By about 0.03 of a second, Jonathan Atkins, the second fastest car. And he picks up about a 10 on David Farmer. But now very loose coming out of 4. Sidestepping and a little bit of contact there for third. The 21 of Hooby all over the back bumper. Side by side into 3 and 4. The 21's going to go by. So a change for the third position after a little mistake there with the 57. And the battle for the lead starting to heat up, but David Farmer overshoots 3 and 4. All the time gain given right back to Hawkins. So 150 laps completed. This guy right here doing what he needs to do at crunch time. Coming down to the final 2 races. We've got Homestead next week at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Points battle very tight. We're within 9 points back to 4th coming into today. With David Farmer leading the points by only 1 over Raphael Hooby. 5 points over on GT Hawkins, but Hawkins doing what he needs to do here tonight to try to get rid of some of that lead and get some laps led. Looking like the 14 might have an opportunity to get that extra bonus point for most laps led here tonight. It's been a good one so far. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live at Martinsville Speedway. Yellow flag comes down at lap 157. Green flag, or yellow flag pit stops rather, have begun. These drivers coming down after about 57 laps. And Sean Kaser off the racetrack here tonight. The 42 of Cody Anderson also on pit road. Interesting to see what happened here as we sit in pit lane. The 14 of Atkins is going to be down and away now. The 84 of Farmer battling with him closely Hooby down and away, Atkins out, and now the 44 of Shutters. Let's go back on our instant replay and see if we can find what happened to bring out this caution. I believe it's going to begin with the number 24. It's a rewind of about 30 seconds. Let's see if we can see what happens. It will be the 24. He hits the inside wall and brings it to a stop there on the front stretch, which will trigger the yellow for the third time here today. So we're about 2/3 of the way in to this race. We still have about 8 cars remaining out on the racetrack. Hawkins, Farmer, Hooby, Atkins, and Shutters, the top 5. You have Silvers, Holder, and Reinsettle still on the lead lap. Cody Anderson down pit road. He's in the 10th position. Could afford to probably make up one spot, but he has parked it thus far. 2 cars off the track, Sean Kaser and Michael Kostick have taken and loaded it up on the hauler. Going to be done for the night. Lights go out on the pace car, and we're going to go back green with the 14 of Hawkins. Going to lead them into turn 1. Everyone came down pit road to get 4 tires. These drivers will have to make one more pit stop. So back racing here for the 4th time tonight. Green flag up in the air. And Hawkins leading them into turn 1 with Farmer on the outside. And after going back green, the 84 of David Farmer loses 4 spots, gets trapped up on the outside. He falls all the way back to the almost 8th position. 7th spot here for the 84. Started on that outside, and he got freight trained by Rafael Hooby. And they pinned him up on the outer line all the way back. Now it's up to the 21 to see if he can go up there and take over the lead from the 14. But he has to hold off a very hungry and a little overshoot there in 3 and 4. Now the battle for the lead, heating way up. All over the back bumper and a little tag and a move out of the way. The 21's going to take it over. The 44 and the 57 go around, and yellow flag is out. And Rafael Hooby moves the 14 out of the way. The chrome horn into 1 and 2, just in time as the caution comes out on the exit. There's the move right in front of you. And then a cut down from the 44. Let's see if we can get a different angle of that. So it's starting to heat up a little bit here with these drivers as it comes down to the last 2 races. You can see, let's go back and watch that move by Hooby. You'll see the mistake by the 14. He's going to overshoot this corner a little bit, doesn't get the front end to hook up. And that heats the battle right up. We have Shutters on the outside of the 21. He comes in Gives a little tag to the 14. And then the spin right behind him. Let's see if we can pull up the 84 of David Farmer while we have a caution. David Farmer, sorry about that, David, but it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man. How's it going?
It's going. We saw a little bit of action there in front of you. Looked like that restart didn't pan out the way you planned it. Lost a few positions, but now with this yellow putting us back together, you think you can get back up there in the top 3?
I'm gonna try. I've been not great at restarts so far, so hopefully we can not do what I've done so far, and keep it going forward this time.
Yeah, we come in here with a tight battle, and it seems like the guys that you're battling with in points, you've been battling on the track all night. Does that add to the pressure? Because we've had about 6 different lead changes here tonight, and all those guys trying to mitigate.
Yeah, you know, I've got a crew chief tonight, Alex Healy, keep an eye on that stuff for me, trying to help me navigate points and stuff. Had a good finish in the stage, so we should be okay, as long as I don't, finish dead last here. But we'll keep it going. One more time around this thing, and we're going green.
All right, well, starting on the inside, good luck out there, and we'll maybe get to talk to you after the race.
Thanks. Have a good one.
That's the number 84 of David Farmer. Gonna restart here in the 5th spot on the inside. Pace car pulls off. And here we go, back underway. Rafael Huby gonna lead him into turn 1 with GT Hawkins and that little mistake coming out of turn 4. Let's see what happens here as the 21 takes him back green. And the same thing that happened to Farmer on that last restart might happen here to the 14 car, as he gets stuck up on the outside and begins to lose positions. Still trying to hold on to it. A little brush with the wall there, but he's able to get in front of Silvers. And now to the bottom for the 14 car. That's what he wanted, just to get back to that inside and try to run his line again. So not quite as many positions lost, but he does lose 2 of them here on this restart. Rafael Huby, 0.4 of a second over Brandon Holder, who was 2 laps down at one point in this race. Back up on the lead lap, now in second for the 9 car. And trying to apply some pressure to the 21, who's going to get his lap sled here tonight. Battle for third, really hot. A couple more bumps here from the 14. Trying to move the 84 out of the way. So these two have pulled about 1.2 seconds over David Farmer. And then 0.4 separating first and second position. A close little battle here with James Silvers and Radburn Shutters for 5th. So 3 separate battles going on this racetrack right now. The 57 of Atkins up on the outside. He's going to go another lap down here. And hasn't recovered since that spin on lap 135. A little bit of a breakaway now for Farmer as he tries to chase down this top two. He has shaved the lead down to 1 second. Mathematically right now, Huby might take over the points lead. It's going to be close after this week. If they finish where they are at this current time, I think Huby would have a 1-point advantage. So the top three starting to accordion back together. They've pulled away from James Silvers about 3 seconds. He battles back here with the 44 still on his bumper. Shutters, who won stage number 1, has not recovered since then. He's set right around the 5th, 6th position since the second half of this race. The race for second, though, is back on. Farmer has caught up to Brandon Holder. And as he peeks to the inside, he's probably going to have to move the 9 of Holder out of the way, out of the groove. Again, back to the race that Holder's been having, an up and down night all night long. A mistake on pit road during the first stage. Found himself 2 laps down. The stage break got 1 of his laps back, and then these guys had some more problems. It has allowed Brandon Holder to recover here tonight. Now finds himself up in the top 3. The top 4 in points. They're the top 4 in this race. And a slight little mistake there by the 9. But he's able to get the run off really close to the turn 2 exit wall. Dialing the pressure up each lap. The 84 Farmer all over the back bumper of Holder now. On board here with the 14 of Hawkins, who is also accordion back up to this pack. Raphael Huby has maintained about a 4/10 of a second gap since we went back green and racing. Coming down to the last 60 laps now. Who's going into Homestead with the points lead? Oh, the 9 of Holder gets loose coming off of 4, and that allows Farmer to the outside. Not quite able to clear just yet, and now the 84 does dive down into 3 and 4 with the second position. Putting a little gap between him and Hawkins. But now Hawkins looking to the inside for third. Holder very loose into 1 and 2. He falls back to fourth now. Looking back on the back bumper of Rafael Hubi, he's led 31 laps tonight. At one point, having a 1-second lead, and a yellow flag does come out. That's going to be the 44 of Shutters on the front stretch, coming out of 4. So this is going to bring out our 5th yellow of the night. And a single car spin here for the 44 as he brings it down pit road. Let's go back and watch what happened. And that's a hard impact. Wow. A very hard hit here for the 44. He just snaps it loose, getting back on the throttle. He's not able to catch it, snaps it right into the outside wall. Trying to get it back going. Also tags the inside wall. And that's going to bring out our 5th yellow of the night here, the 44 on pit road. Every driver down on pit road right now. Hubi wins the battle off of pit road, and the top 4 stay the same. 44 of Shutters is going to lose some laps. So about 50 laps to go now as they cross the line, exactly 50 to go. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in a liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
Back here live at Martinsville Speedway. Rafael Hubi going to lead him into turn 1. We're going back live and racing for the 6th time today. Electing to start on the outside for the 21 car. And now he dives it into turn 1 with David Farmer on the back bumper. And a block there by the 84 on Hawkins, who had a little bit of a run, but now locks up the tires and to the inside for second position. There goes Hawkins now into 3 and 4. While this all happens, the 21 able to pull away a little bit. Coming off a turn 4 to lead another time by. A little contact with the outside wall, and James Silvers. Looks like he might have picked up a little bit of damage there from that brush. Eight-tenths of a second lead now over GT Hawkins, but Hawkins has been very fast here on the long run. Let's see what he can do if he's going to be able to catch up to the 21 car. Holder, who made a little bit of a mistake there on that last time. We came down pit road, topped off with fuel, and put 4 tires on these machines. They should be good to go to the end. Oh, and Holder hard in the outside wall here. He's going to lose 3 spots on that move. Tough break there for the 9 car. Holder falls back to 5th position. See him on the outside of Silvers there, but Holder has had a struggle all night tonight. He fell out of the lead lap there at one point. He was 2 laps down. He got the lead lap back. He got up into 2nd position, but just hasn't been a good night there for the 9 car. Maintaining the gap, though. The 21 of Huby. 7/10 of a second ahead. As we approach about 35 laps to go. The points battle ever so tighter. It really will come down to Homestead. And what these guys can do here tonight will dictate how they have to perform next week. Your top 4 in points. 3 of them racing 1, 2, 3. Holder falls back to 5th. Silver's a little bit in between these two. The battle for 4th starting to heat back up. And a little loose there coming off of 4. Silvers is going to lose that position. He was trying to shift. I could hear him working through the gears trying to get a run. And it seems to be upsetting the tires. Contact with the lap car, the 42. Cody Anderson gets into the side of the 14. And Huby getting loose here on the front stretch. The battle for the lead is on now. He had a 7/10 of a second gap, and he's locking up the front. Oh, he gets into the 14. And another yellow is going to come out. It's a little mistake here in 3 and 4. tags the apron, allows the 14 car to get right up to the rear bumper. And then another big lockup as they go into 1 and 2. The 14 just really didn't have anywhere to go after that. That's going to bring out caution number 6 of the night. Race off pit road is won by the 14. There's Brandon Holder out there as well. David Farmer is going to take over the lead. On lap 221, we're going to have about 25 laps to go when we go back green. James Silver's also staying out with about 22 lap old tires. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed. We're going to take another commercial break, and we'll bring you uninterrupted coverage live right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Race.
Back here live at Martinsville Speedway. David Farmer and James Silvers elect to stay out. 4-tire pit stops under caution for the remainder of the field. And the 84 is going to lead them into turn 1 with some fresh tires behind him. Let's see how long the 84 car can hold on. So we have 25 laps to go at the line. Green flag is out. We're back underway. And you can see the tire advantage already at work here. The 84 Farmer not getting quite the drive off. Hawkins going to get up to the rear bumper. Some side-by-side behind him. There's Rafael Hubi trying to work his way up through this field. Trying to get back to the lead with 25 to go. Two-tenths of a second separating the 84 and the 14 right now. He's holding on pretty well for having older tires. I'd have to say that these tires probably going to even out here in the next 10 laps or so. If he can hold off the 14 for that long, Hawkins gets a little loose coming off of 4 and loses some ground. And now Brandon Holder up to 3rd. He gets around the 17 and the 21. So down to the very end, the four-way battle and some contact, moving the 17 of Silvers out of the way. Booby now up to 4th. A little lock up of the tires there for the 14, making another mistake into 3 and 4. Brandon Holder now peeks to the inside. And almost using the bumper there to try to move the 14 out of the way. Holder trying to pick up the second position. Hawkins is faster than the 84. But every time he gets back to the bumper, he makes a slight little mistake that costs him time. Less than 20 to go here. Farmer doing an impressive job with about 20 lap older tires. He cannot afford a mistake now, though. The pressure dialed up to 100. And Hawkins getting great runs down on the apex of these turns. Closing the door down to the bottom here for the 84. If the 14 does get a run off of one of these corners, don't be surprised to see the 84 cut it off to try to maintain this position. If he loses this lead, he's also going to have Brandon Holder to the inside, so he can't afford to get to the outside and get moved. And while this battle goes on for first through third, Rafael Hubi starting to work his way back into the picture. The top 4 in points back at it again for the race win. A little block there by the 84 as the 14 peeked to the inside in the entry of 1. And now Holder up on the outside. Battle for second, which is what Farmer wants to see in his mirror right now. A great job there with the 14 to not get into the back of the 84 too hard there. A little cut of the nose and another bump there. The 14 back up on the bumper, hits him 3 times there into 3 and 4. Now has to block the 9 of Holder. Hawkins is working hard on him. And now a pass for the lead on lap 243. 8 laps to go here. And the 14 of Hawkins gets the run to the inside. David Farmer trying to hold on to it. Brandon Holder on the back bumper of the 14. The 21 of Hubi back into the picture. And some contact between third place and a spin here by the 9. He gets sent into 1 and 2 rather. Yellow flag is out. And the 9 letting the 21 know he's not happy. Little block down the front straightaway there. The 21 car, who was on the brakes, just lifts off. That brings out caution number 7 of the night. Brandon Holder falls back to the 5th position after that. Hawkins takes over the lead with about 7 or 8 to go. And now with 5 to go, we're going to cycle through. It's going to be tough. GT Hawkins, it's Bradley Cooper up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
You have a few drivers behind you here that have older tires than you do, and you were able to finally get clear of the 84 Farmer. It's been tough to pass here tonight, but now you're on point with about 3 to go when we go back green. You think you got this one wrapped up?
I mean, dirty air is real here for sure. I mean, it's Martinsville. Anything can happen. I think I'm in the best place I can be, but who knows?
Yeah, best place you can be for sure. And with the, just holding them off, hopefully you don't get the chrome horn. I know that it's been needed here tonight. It's so difficult to pass, but hopefully you're able to clear and get away with a good start and get this win wrapped up.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
That's GT Hawkins. Cornerstone, we'll see you after the race, man. So here we go, back. Lights are going to go out on the pace car this time by. The 14 of Hawkins going to lead him into turn 1. You've got Farmer on the outside. Hoobie going to be on the inside. I believe the 21's going to get an EOL here after that move. He will start at the tail end of the line. But the line's not very long here tonight, so it shouldn't hurt him too bad. He still has a chance. If these guys up front here get to racing too hard, get a little crazy, excuse me, he might want to be back there to try to avoid it. So we're going to take the green flag with 3 laps to go. And a little shootout here at Martinsville. The Paperclip has put on a great show so far, but it's not over yet. Green flag up in the air. We're back live and racing for the 8th time today. And David Farmer pinned up on the outside with Silvers, trying to get away the 2nd position. 2 laps to go as they come around for the white flag. A pinch down by the 84. Holder trying to get to the inside. Hawkins going to take the white flag now. 1 lap to go. Holder dives it down to the bottom, possibly for the 2nd, 3rd position. Contact between him and Farmer. Dives it down into 3. Onto the outside, way overshot here by the 84. And Hawkins is going to take the win. Holder gets 3rd, and Farmer falls back to 4th. Raphael Hoobie, he brings it home in the 5th position with a last corner pass. Gets to the inside of Dustin Reinstedel and takes away the spot just in time to finish it out. But the overshoot here by Farmer allows Holder in the last corner to come home with a podium. But ultimately, it's the 14 car of Hawkins getting the win here tonight. Post-race interviews with your top 3. And trying to fry the tires and blow the engine, the 14 car. generating lots of smoke here on the front stretch. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be back live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live at Martinsville Speedway, the Bluegrass Cup Series has concluded their 250 laps here tonight. The stage winner, the 44 of Radburn Shutters, has an early exit here tonight, but he's able to claim the first stage points. And GT Hawkins is able to come away with the win. We have your top three down here in the staging area. First, let's talk to your third place finisher. And that's the number 9 of Brandon Holder. And I tell you what, Holder, you've had an up and down night. You went from 2 laps down at one point in this race back to the lead lap, and here you come home with a podium headed into Homestead. Congratulations on the recovery.
Thanks, man. It was a long night, and I was about ready to quit when I was 2 laps down, which it was my own fault. So I'm glad I stuck with it. It was a fun race there at the end.
Yeah, a mistake on pit road that puts you 2 laps down, but the stage break puts you 1 lap down, and then they have a caution within about 15 laps that puts you back on the lead lap. Then you find yourself battling for second position there. I mean, did you expect that to happen, or was you just, praying the whole time that you could just recover?
Well, I was hoping. I mean, with the low car count, I wasn't sure that we would get the cautions. I mean, I knew I would get the stage break wave around, but I wasn't sure if there'd be another caution with so few cars. But I mean, it all worked out, and it turned out to be a pretty good race.
Similar to what you had to do to make it into the top 8, you're able to do it here tonight. Just before we head to the season finale, Brandon, do you have anyone to thank or shout out since you're going here into the top 4 with a real chance at the championship?
Well, I don't believe that I made the top 4, but I got to thank Cornerstone for bringing me on and all the help that they've been this year. And I want to thank, I had a familiar ear in my, a guy in my ear tonight talking to me, Brad Neer. So I appreciate him coming out, and thank BK Paints for the paint.
Yeah, I'm going back here. I'm going to make sure that I have the proper standings up on my screen. I'm looking at the Cup Series standings right now as we speak. I'm looking at the number 9 in 4th position. 9 points back from the lead. Does that sound right to you?
No, I mean, I wish it was, but I don't think that's correct.
Well, there's either a problem with the points, and I'm completely confused. This is as of 10/25/23, according to Cody Anderson. So we'll have to get that sorted if it's not correct. But that's what I'm reading right now. You have 3,567 points going into Homestead. It will change after tonight, but I'm just going off the stats that I was given.
Well, hey, man, if you say it, I'll go with it.
All right, there you go. Brandon Holder, congratulations on 3rd place here tonight. Doesn't even know he's in the chase. Here he is, here tonight at Martinsville, getting it done. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, man.
So let's move on to our 2nd place finisher, James Silvers, in the number 17. And James, man, another up and down night for you. You fell out of the top 5 several times tonight, but you find yourself racing in that final 3 laps, possibly for the win there, as you got to the inside of Farmer on the restart.
Yeah, it was a really tough race, man. I was really trying to get everything adjusted because last week I was having some problems I've been having problems with my steering wheel and pedals, and finally they, finally started to give up on me. So it's a good thing that I got a free steering wheel though, so we'll take that, and because it did pretty good for its first time in the league race tonight. But it was a tough race overall. I mean, I was in the front and the back and in between, and car kind of drove like crap right there, and somehow we still brought it around and got a second place finish out of it.
What was going on with your wheel that you were having problems with it?
That was the pedals really, because I guess the calibration was completely out of them. So I've done a lot of races on them, so I guess it's about time for them to be put up.
They were used too much when they were new. That was the answer that you were.
Yeah, oh yeah. Way too many races on that thing.
Well, outside of that, James, you put it together here in the last 3 laps. I know that it was a struggle here tonight. How tough was it to pass? We saw a lot of guys having to use the bumper.
Oh yeah, it's really tough to pass. I mean, that's about how everybody had to pass tonight, was at least try to get up on the back bumper, move them just a little bit without wrecking them, or hope to God they make a mistake and then you can get under them. But other than that, though, I mean, it was some really tight racing tonight, and really glad for my teammates and everything. And I know Radburn, he was having a pretty good race, and his race kind of went south right there, but he's in the final 4. He'll be all right. And to be honest, though, it's just I don't know, man. It was just a really good race overall. I mean, I really had to put myself in position to try to win the advance, and I didn't really have the car after getting in that wreck. But we tried everything, trying to get it better and better, and I mean, I kept getting better at driving it, and I just fell one position short.
Well, James, we appreciate your time. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out for second place here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out y'all for putting on the broadcast. Y'all do an amazing job. I'd like to shout out Jason Collins for putting together Bluegrass. I'd like to shout out everybody behind the scenes with race control and everything. And I'd like to shout out my girlfriend Shelby. I love you, baby. And last but not least, let's go ahead and thank the sponsors that help everything at Cornerstone. Oh, Lord, it's been a minute. Hang on, let me find this list. Here it is. All right, I'd like to thank Aerial Pros of WNC, Function Junction Smoke Shop, GG's of Waynesville, North Carolina, Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire. And I'd like to shout out everybody at Cornerstone. We put together a pretty good season, man, and to end it like that, I mean, even though I didn't make it, we still got 2 cars in it. So hopefully we can go out next week and we can probably take that title.
Well, that was well rehearsed. Well done, James, and we look forward to seeing your performance at Homestead next week. Good luck, man.
All right, thank you, Bradley. Have a good night, buddy.
It's your second place finisher, James Silvers. And finally, down to the victory lane where we have the number 14 of GT Hawkins. We talked to you during the caution break. You felt like you were in the right position. It turns out you really were. You were able to drive away. The battle's behind you. You put them on your mirror and never look back.
Yeah, I had a blast racing tonight. It was super stressful. I've yet to be in a situation where I'm that close on points and need to race well to continue. At least, I mean, I'd been looking forward to Darlington for a long time, and I get wrecked on the first turn. So it's just kind of it's not fun to feel like you're having to claw back, and especially competing against my teammates and James and Brandon. They're awesome guys, so it's bittersweet here on that end, but I'm also not celebrating a ton yet because I gotta go get it done next week for it to matter.
Yeah, next week at Homestead is really what it's going to boil down to. The stats that I have must not be correct. I've heard several different people. I don't know if you can confirm the top 4 for me or not, but I've heard several different guys say that Shutters is in there, and I talked to Holder, and what I'm seeing is Holder is in the top 4, so I don't rightly know.
I haven't a clue.
Yeah,
I think it's Shutters, myself, Farmer, and Hubie.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, this graphic that I have here that was posted on the 25th post Darlington. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. All right. So outside of that though, you had a pretty good race here. You led 62 laps as far as my lap counter is concerned. I fell out of the session 3 times tonight. So my counter is a little bit broken, but You came out with a little bit of a struggle to start this race. You were outside the top 5. You worked your way into the top 3, and then the second half of the race, you just turned up the heat.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I turned a good qualifying lap, and I was 3/10 off, and I was like, oh. So, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happened last week, starting the back, and then stuff happens back there. So, yeah, just it started to click, I think, once I got into a rhythm, and I kind of was watching everybody else and figuring out where I was missing. But I mean, it's fun track to race. Last season I wrecked. I think I got parked last season here, so definitely an improvement. But yeah, I mean, it's a bummer about Hubie. I was definitely looking forward to racing hard there, but I mean, I don't know what happened. They called netcode, and I think I haven't looked at the replay yet, but the last thing I was trying to do was get into him and turn him there. So hope he's not too upset, but I watched him mess up 3 turns in a row, and I ran him down from a little over a second in a couple laps. So miss it 2 or 3 times in front of me, and then that's kind of what happens. So it's absolutely nothing intentional, but that's just kind of the way that has to go sometimes.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast here at Martinsville. And once you catch a guy and he's making mistakes, he gets slides through. It looked like he locked up the rear tires there, entering 1 and 2. So I would venture to say, not really directly your fault there. And so Hubie just made a mistake and looked like he might have gotten an EOL there with the 9 of Holder. They the same thing kind of happened with locking up the tires as guys get together. But outside of that, Hawkins, you did a fantastic job here. Going into Homestead, you're going to be really tight in the points battle. You've got Farmer and Hubie and all these guys that are breathing down your neck in a small car count. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's win?
Yeah, definitely got to thank Glory Pole, Jason, and everybody at Bluegrass for putting this on. My teammates at Cornerstone, you guys are awesome. I had a blast racing with you all season. And thank you for broadcasting, and all my friends and family out there watching. Thanks.
That's GT Hawkins, race winner here tonight, leading a lot of laps and getting it done. We'll see you next week at Homestead.
We'll see you.
So finally, we have concluded our Bluegrass Cup Series race and the final stages of the chase. Let's bring you your final finishing order up on the screen now. Top 3 there, as we just talked to. Hawkins, Silvers, and Holder going into Homestead. David Farmer's going to bring it home in 4th with Rafael Hubie in 5th. Dustin Reinsettle in the 6th position. And then from 7th place down, all taking an early exit to tonight, Bradburn Shutters in 7th with Jonathan Atkins, 8th position. Cody Anderson, 9th. Sean Kaser going to round out the top 10. 11th spot belongs to Michael Kostick, and not making the grid here tonight, that's the number 6 of Barrett Morton. 54 laps down to start this race out. He stayed on pit road and unfortunately not able to race here tonight. Well, it was a good race here. If you enjoyed the action, make sure that you subscribe to V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday nights. The final race in the big finale at Homestead to conclude the entire season. Hope you can join us live there. The Bluegrass Cup Series puts it all on the line in Miami. But for everybody that put this together here on V-Speed, Cofield Supply and Service, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Alec Martinez, and Connor Horn, this is Bradley Cooper signing off. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Take care.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.